Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the class of CE3C1, Environmental Engineering 1. Today is our first class of this course. So I'll start with the introduction of environmental engineering. So why this branch of engineering came into existence? That's the question. Okay, let's see the definition first. Environmental engineering has been defined as the branch of engineering that is concerned with protecting the environment from the potentially deleterious effect of human activity. So protecting the environment. Now the question is, why are you concerned about protecting the environment? Because we live in the environment. If environment is harmed, then we ourselves are harmed. Even we cannot sustain in this world or survive in this world if the environment is not suitable for us. So protecting the environment to protect the human population from the effects of adverse environmental factors and improving the environmental quality for human health and well-being. So that's actually the overall goal here of environmental engineering, human health and well-being. Because human interact with the environment. How? As a human being, you are continuously interacting with the environment because you are taking oxygen from the environment, you are releasing carbon dioxide to the environment, you are taking food from the environment, you are taking water from the environment, right? So you are always interacting with the environment. Sometimes human adversely impact environment. That means we human being harm the environment. On the other way, human beings are sometimes being adversely impacted by the pollutants in the environment. Therefore, an understanding of the nature of the environment and human interaction with whom, interaction with the environment is necessary prerequisite to understanding the work of the environmental engineer. The global environment consists of atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. What is atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere? First of all, atmosphere. We live on Earth, and the gas that is surrounding us, the gas that is surrounding us, right? We call it atmosphere. This has oxygen, nitrogen, and other gases, right? This is
Yes, sir.
atmosphere. What is hydrosphere? In this earth, all the water body like ocean, river, okay, lakes. So these are basically the hydro. Hydro means water. So this is hydrosphere. This is hydrosphere. These are hydrosphere. And what is lithosphere? You see the earth crust, I mean the soil, this soil, the earth crust, this, okay, this earth crust, that is lithosphere. Let me change the color. That is lithosphere. Now, what is biosphere? A thin shell that encapsulates the Earth is made up of the atmosphere and lithosphere adjacent to the surface of the Earth, together with the hydrosphere. So, basically, biosphere is the combination of everything, that atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere, which contains bio. Bio means what? Life. So biosphere, bio means life. Am I right? Bio means life. So biosphere is basically containing the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and the lithosphere, which contains life. The thin shell that encapsulates the Earth is made up of the atmosphere, lithosphere adjacent to the surface of the Earth, together with the hydrosphere. So the portion of atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere where bio, that means life, can be found. Now, we are discussing why this environmental engineering came into existence. What happens that 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago, if you go back, look back 1,000 years ago, the human population was low. Not only that, there were not any industrial revolution. Therefore, human being exerted much less pressure on the natural resources. What does it mean? That means, as a human being, we are always interacting with the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere to sustain our life, our luxury. From atmosphere, we are taking oxygen, nitrogen. From hydrosphere, we are taking water, fish, shells. From lithosphere, we are extracting coal, oil, gold, diamond, right? We are having plants. So you are continuously extracting the resources. These are natural resources. Atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. You're extracting natural resources. thousand years ago or many years back, the human population was low. Therefore, the extraction of these natural resources was low. So there was not much pressure on the natural resources. But with the advancement of human technology, I mean, industrial revolution, after industrial revolution in 17th and 18th century, first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution. What is industrial revolution? Industry based mass volume production. Industry based mass volume production. Like what? Like um, steam engine and these things, right? So what happened that human being started extracting natural resources at a huge amount, at a huge amount. So there is an intense pressure on these natural resources. There is an intense pressure on these natural resources. Now what happens if I'm giving a simple only example, but there are millions of examples like that. For example, when you are extracting coal, when you are using textile industry, you are using leather industry, okay, what you are doing, you are after this processing, in this industry, after processing, you generate wastewater, and these wastewater contains harmful pollutants, and they discharge it into the river. If this is a very tiny amount of pollutant, then the water might dilute it and make it less harmful. So the river has its own capacity to minimize the pollution. For example, what I'm trying to say, if you pour a glass of pollutant wastewater into the river, there are lot of flow in this river, and that flow and high volume of water will dilute this pollutant, and therefore the pollution will be minimized. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, right.
But if thousands of people, thousands of industries are discharging lots of pollutants together, then the nature, I mean, then you will exceed the capacity of the nature to recover itself. And then when other people, I mean, yourself is gonna take the water for drinking purpose, you will be affected. So if you harm the nature will harm you. The first of all, when there was a small or little amount of pollutant, then the nature could recover by itself. That is called assimilation. Recover by own capacity. That is called, remember, that's called assimilative capacity. Assimilation. Assi, that's what they are calling assimilative capacity. This capacity is called assimilative capacity. That means this is the capacity of the nature to recover by own. But when you discharge a massive amount of pollutant, then you have exceeded the assimilative capacity and the nature cannot recover by itself. In that case, you will have to, before discharging the water, you have to put a treatment plant so that before discharging the wastewater from the industry, you treat the water, clean it to a certain level so that it can be safely discharged into the river. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, who will do this? Environmental engineer. Again, you if you want to eat, drink the water of this river, this is polluted. This is polluted river, or not up to the level of drinking standard. What do you need before drinking it? You need to have a water treatment plant. Who is gonna design this? Environmental engineer. You are supplying the water from Takawasa to this residence using pipe network. Who is gonna design this pipe network? Environmental engineers. So these are a few examples of environmental engineers role. So what I highlighted here is why environmental engineering came into existence, because after industrial revolution, there are a lot of people and they are extracting the natural resources at a massive amount. Therefore, it is harming the people. It is directly harming you, direct our health. Okay, it's evident. There is evidence. Data says that, and the analysis says that. And if human beings are affected by drinking this polluted water, they are gonna get sick. And if you are gonna get sick, then you are losing your productive time, the time which would otherwise have been leveraged in doing your study or working in a farm or working in any productive area. You are losing it. You are losing that productive time. That means you are losing your money. Am I right? If you are sick, you are losing your productive time. And if you're losing your productive time, you're losing money. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So your national economy is harmed. Okay? National economy is negatively or adversely affected. Therefore, you need to address this. It's incredibly important to address these issues so that you can protect human health. Because if human health is not secure, then everything else will collapse. Your economy, your society, everything will collapse. So it's incredibly important this environment to introduce environmental engineering. Without environmental engineering, in a world where is a massive extraction of natural resources and massive pollution, human being will not be able to survive. That's why you need environmental engineering. Okay? So having said that, now we will move towards water, health, and sanitation. So this topic will also reiterate what I have discussed in more detail. Water, health, sanitation, and health. One of the world's most urgent issues is lack of safe water, sanitation, and health. Water-related improvements are crucial to meet the development goals to reduce child mortality and improve health in a sustainable way. Development goals, as I told you, if you cannot protect the environment, then you will not be able to protect the human health. And if you cannot protect human health, then you cannot protect your productive time. That means you are losing your money, and you are losing your money means your development will be hampered. So development goal cannot be achieved without protecting the environment, like water related environment improvements. Now, what is sanitation? Sanitation is defined as access to and use of facilities and services for the safe disposal of waste. As I told you, before discharging the waste, you are putting a treatment plant here, effluent treatment plant (ETP), so that the water body is not harmed. So this is a safe disposal of waste. In your house, you have toilet, wash basins. You discharge your waste matter in a safe way so that your pollution does not infect you, because if these pollutions are directly discharged into the river and people eat and drink that product from the river, then they are gonna be sick. So you want to protect them. So you don't want to directly discharge them into the river. No, no. First of all, you collect them, you treat them in a water treatment plant, and then you discharge them into the river. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is one example of sanitation. Sanitation is everything that protects human health. Also, this is wastewater. The fresh water that you get in your house for drinking purpose, you need to make sure that water is clean, that water is not contaminated through the leakage of the pipe, because this is sewer pipe. Sewer pipe. The sewer pipe wastewater may not infiltrate into the fresh water, which quite often happens in Dhaka due to the leakage in the pipe, because they are getting old. So these are the part of sanitation. So according to World Health Organization, sanitation refers to all conditions that affect health. That's the ultimate objective, to protect the health, including the control of water supply. As I told you, water supply control. This is water supply control. Wastewater disposal. You're disposing wastewater. Refuse disposal. That's also wastewater. Housing condition, food protection, atmospheric condition, and the safety of the working environment. So this is also important. Safety of the working environment. In an industry, the workers, the workers who work in an industry where they are regularly exposed to sound pollution for a sustained amount of time, for a long duration of time, they may be vulnerable to nerve system diseases. Also, in the workers who works in an industry where there is air pollution, so these workers, in that case, these workers are likely to get respiratory diseases. They might damage their lungs. Okay, these are a few examples. There are a multitude of other examples. So a safe sanitation system is a system designed and used to separate human waste from human contact at all steps of the sanitation service chain, from the toilet capture and containment through emptying, transport, treatment, and final disposal or end use. So from toilet capture, so you are capturing it in the toilet and then you are containing it. That means it's not you're immediately flushing it into the conveyance of pipe, emptying it, but when you're emptying these facilities, fixture, and then transport, you are transporting this waste matter into the treatment plant, and then you are treating this and final disposal or end use. After treatment, you are finally disposing it into the river or something else after treatment. Look, this treatment can be in situ or off-site. What does that mean? Here, waste is generating here, and we are transporting it to a different place and treating it here. So these are two different places. The generation of waste here, the generation of waste generation here, and the treatment is here. So these are two different places. So this is off-site. This is off-site. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, it may happen in the rural area where there is low population. You may have a toilet here, and that wastewater in the common is collected into a pit into the soil. That means a compartment excavated in the soil in the earth, and then you store them there, and these waste matters are mixed with soil, decomposed, and after 6 months or 1 year, you will see that it has become soil by biodegradation. So you're treating it, the waste is generating in this location, and you're also treating it in the same locations. This is on site. The difference from the offsite system is that in unlike offsite system, in on-site system, you are not transporting the waste to somewhere else and treating it. No, you are treating the waste at the same location where it is being generated. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is on-site. Yeah. In offsite system, you are in our conventional sewage system. You are transporting the water, the waste using water, right? You're transporting the waste using water. Starting from the flush of the commode, you're using water to flush it, and then you're transporting it. Of course, you have a septic tank here before it transfers. So I'll show it to you. So septic tank, and then it's transferring the water there, right? So you're using water here. You're using water here. So this is wet system. Wet. system. Sometimes there is also dry system. You collect the wastewater and then in a compartment you collect them with you use with a suction pipe, the machine you collect them and you collect them. It's a car. It's a car. It's a compartment. It has a truck compartment. You collect it using uh, a suction pipe. So you don't need any water here. You're not transporting the water like through this pipe. You're just collecting it using uh, a suction pipe, and through this car you are taking it to the treatment plant and then you are washing it. So this is dry system. Or using a bucket, maybe using a bucket you're transferring it. And this is wet system. This is wet system where water is used, and the dry system is the system where there is no usage of water. Clear?
Yes, sir.
On-site can also be
Yes, sir.
so wet system and dry system both. Off-site can also be wet, dry both. This is off-site wet and this is off-site dry. And on-site can also be wet or dry. Similar, if you use water to discharge it, then it's wet. If you don't use water, then it's dry. Okay, both. Now, would you use off-site waste system? Would you use off-site dry system? Would you use on-site waste system? Would you use on-site dry system? It, the suitability of all of them depends on where you are installing this system, for what community you are targeting to, what is the income of that community, what is the topography, everything. So this depends on many things. Mainly it depends on the income. These are low cost, these are expensive. So in a community, in a low income community, you cannot give this one. You have to give this one. Okay. And this system, this offsite system is suitable where there is high density of population, lots of residents, lots of buildings together. Then you collect them with a pipe and then discharge them. But when basically city, the city in city you have a high density population, but in a rural area when there is very low population, here is a building, here is another building, here. In this case, for such a small density of population, installing these kinds of offsite system with pipe network it will be too expensive. In that case, you give them offsite. Clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
offsite is for a sparsely settled. Sparsely means far away. Sparsely settled rural community, and this is you know high density population. This offsite system, this offsite system is high density, but not only high density population. They have to have high income, high density plus high income. Sparsely settled rural community offsite. Sparsely settled rural community
Sir,
plus low income
on-site.
plus low
এটা on-site হবে না?
income. Yeah, sparsely settled rural community, that's on site. low income, low income, and low density. Sparsely settled means low density. So low density, low income, on site. High density, high income, off site. And clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So functions of sanitation system. Of course, what are the features of sanitation system? Safe, reliable water supply, proper drainage of wastewater, proper disposal of all human waste, and prompt refusal. Prompt. That means immediately you use the toilet, you wash it using flush. Otherwise, there is a chance of contamination. There is a chance of uh, human being in contact with the wastewater. So prompt is immediately. Quick fact: 2.5 billion people lack access to improved sanitation worldwide. 2.5 billion. 748 million people lack access to improved source of drinking water. 1 billion people practice open defecation. In Bangladesh, open defecation is open without using toilet. Right? This is open defecation. In Bangladesh, this is almost eradicated. Okay, but India, I think there are unfortunately still existent. So you know what? This is the consequence of poor sanitation and unsafe water. No sanitation without toilet. You are harming the environment. What happens? You are getting sick, deaths. What is the end result? You are losing money, economy. So this is important. How socio-economic development is affected by poor sanitation. Economic benefits from wastewater, from water and environmental sanitation program. Why are we concerned about sanitation? Look, this flow diagram is important. Water, sanitation, and hygiene education reduce cholera, typhoid, this disease. Okay, that means reduce diarrheal disease. That means increase resistance to infection, increase resistance to infection. That means improved health, decrease in morbidity. Morbidity means the condition of being sick. That's the morbidity. This is not mortality, this is morbidity. Morbidity means the condition of being sick, morbidity. So improved health, improved morbidity, then decrease in infant child mortality, increase educational development. Why? Because if you are not sick, that means if you have less physical stunting and wasting of time. You have less mental stunting, stress basically. So increase educational development. That means increase productivity. That means increase social and economic development. So these are all basically a cycle. That's why sanitation program is incredibly important for the social and economic development of a country. Basically, this is the overall development of the country. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, in sanitation saves lives. But not only that, it is the key building block of development. Key building block of the development. The society who has provided improved sanitation has boosted their socio-economic development. The society that has provided improved sanitation are able to boost their socio-economic development. Okay? You know what? Only sanitation is not good enough. Sanitation, water supply, and health education, that's also crucial. So this is only when the three factors work together, then we will get the benefit of improvement of health. Because if you're giving sanitation, you are giving water supply. Now at home, if people does not use this water properly, they use this water. I mean, they are using, they are getting the fresh water, but they are not covering it. So the flies and mosquitoes, these things are polluting the food and water. Then we are not gonna get the improved health. So education, educating these people, education, health education is educating these people that you should wash your hand. Can you control people from outside to wash their hand? No, we can educate them. What happened after coronavirus? We are educating the people. We are through media, through Facebook, through television, through internet and other media. We are educating. So this is important. Okay? Without educating people, we cannot. Without educating people that it's incredibly important to wash their hands, we cannot combat coronavirus at this moment. At least. So we are educating people. Similarly, this is an important thing, health education. This wearing mask, washing hands, these are all part of sanitation. These are all part of sanitation to combat the virus. Okay, so sanitation and water supply is not only enough. You also need to provide health education. You need to educate people about the healthy life practice. Okay. Now, water, sanitation, and health together are called WASH. WA, WA, sanitation for S, and health, hygiene for H. Together, they are called WASH. This is a program of United Nations Development. United Nations. So they are calling access to water, sanitation, and hygiene, known as collectively known as WASH, has profound, wider socioeconomic impacts, particularly for women and girls. Previously, UNDP has Millennium Development Goal. Did you hear the name? Millennium Development Goal, MDG. When UNDP gives some target, they gives a deadline, and the deadline of this MDG has passed. Now, what is their sustainable development goal? If you want to work in this area in future, and build your profession over there, you must learn these things. Must sustainable development goals. There are 17 sustainable. They are called SDG. SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, and the target to achieve them is by 2030. I believe. You can check it. 2030. And out of 17 goals, number 6 is directly related to WASH. Other goals then 6, all other goals then 6 are also related to WASH, but 6 is directly related to WASH. And all majority of the world are investing money, millions of dollars. I repeat, even billions of dollars in this sector. So that could be uh, an incredibly important potential area for your future work, future profession. Wash. The fact that wash is the subject of dedicated targets with the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, 2017, is testament to its fundamental role of whom wash in public health and therefore in the future of sustainable development goals.